All right, you guys, day 8. I'm gonna run out of fingers pretty soon. Day 8 of my holistic detox. So, this is probably one of my favorite lessons. And the cool part about it is we've talked about the skin being the largest organ of our body. It's all over our body. It just, everything touches it and has interaction with it. Everything is impacted by it. Everything you eat is, distributed out to keeping it healthy. And there's so many different places, like our hands are much tougher than maybe our belly, or our face has more delicate tissues than our feet. So it's a big consideration. Now, the one thing that we know is that we clean it. And for people, it's different. If it's every day, maybe it's every other day, maybe it's a little bit less than that, but that depends on your lifestyle. So what I want to talk about today are a couple of my favorite additives to just your regular showering or bathing. One is dry brushing. With the dry brush, which I'm so sorry I forgot to bring the brush with me. I just picked up a new one. And that's something you do in the shower, as well as the Korean washcloths, which are none of this is a new concept. Most of these are ancient old. And instead of your traditional washcloth, this is much rougher and has, again, different textures for different parts of the body. The old Korean bathhouses, they used to have the gals, I guess, that would go in and literally scrub you down until you almost had the old dead skin peeling off. Crazy stories in some of these, but I encourage you to look them up. We only get one day on this. The other one is the gua sha stones. Okay, so these are amazing. They're actually jade stones. Some of them come in many different shapes for different areas of your body. Like this one, I don't think I've ever used. And I love this one. This is a jade roller. I use this both for clearing emotional, which if some of you ladies are looking at doing harmony keys with me, or these can be a roller of any place on your body. So the three things. Let's just start by talking about the dry brushing. So one of the easiest things, you can find a dry brush almost anywhere now. They're generally made out of boar's head. I highly encourage anything you put on your body is in its most natural form. So a synthetic brush really isn't something that you want to start scraping your body with. Dry brushing is the process of using the brush with stiff bristles to help exfoliate dead skin. So we know there's dead skin, and ladies, especially you gals, know that in summer, from winter to summer, you get all that crustiness. And the old lady feet is what some people refer to it as, and it's just nasty. If you have that all year round, think about clearing out your skin. It also depends, how often are you barefoot, what's going on. It's not meant to untoughen your feet or to remove the toughness of your feet. It's just meant for healthy skin. You can keep your feet as tough as you want. So there is no cleansing program, no detox really, that is complete without cleansing your skin deeply as well. So with roots in ancient healing practices, most of these detox methodologies have been around for centuries. These are not brand new. We just need to reincorporate them into our lifestyle and use them and enjoy them. Dry brushing is, again, becoming increasingly popular in the US, with hopeful users turning to the bristly treatment performed in spa or home setting. This is your home spa, remember. You don't even have to have a bathtub. A lot of people think, oh, I can't do any spa rituals because I don't have a bathtub. There are a lot of things that you can do right in your own bathroom or in your wherever your prep area is for what you do with your body every day, including your toothbrushing, right? This is hygienics we're talking about. We're talking about your hygiene and as holistic as you can make it. So I'm just going to, right before I get into my all blah, blah, blah. Okay. for a number of healthy promises, only a couple of which can actually deliver on, among other purported benefits, big words. Dry brushing is said to increase drainage of lymphatic fluids, thereby flushing toxins from the body. So the nice thing about these things is they're all meant to support your lymph system. When I talked about exercise, the two main ways that we move the lymph is through breath and through movement. We can move it with tools as well. This is why you'll see lymphatic massage. The dry brushing and all of these actually, they slough off dead skin, encourage new growth, increase circulation. They aid in the lymphatic drainage, reduce appearance of cellulite. So some people truly have cellulitis, which is a different thing. And some people just have some stuffed fat, is the best way to say it. Some people just have a lack of movement in the subcutaneous, and so it kind of hangs out there and creepies up or makes little bumps. That's just getting that flow moving through the lymph system. Increases blood flow. You know how I feel about blood. I'm very happy about it. And tightens your skin, purifies the entire system because it's moving the garbage out. Okay, so a lot of times when we go through or we release and we don't, it's like taking all of the little garbage cans in your house out to the front door and then just leaving them there, right? Something from the bathroom, something from the kitchen, something from the bedroom. You got to get it all the way out. So that's what we're working on, is getting the trash all the way out. Muscle tone is something that it actually supports. Fat deposits, some people, fatty tumors or different things, those run in my family. I definitely have them. I see them all the time. And my family's had them for as far back as 4 generations that I can follow. So it also helps by rejuvenating the nervous system, which is so cool. So think about it. The brain, we've got nerves, they come all the way out to our fingertips and toes. And when you're moving fluid through them, you're creating this nerve ending stimulation. And it also, when you move all of that out, it makes room for nutrients to absorb. So let's think about that. Also giving you a nice glow. It does give you a nice glow. It's wonderful. And here's the thing. Yes, you can overdo it, just like we talked about everything else. So it's estimated every day that the average woman, men maybe could be equal, puts 515 synthetic chemicals directly on your body. Not natural, synthetic, not natural. Over 60% of what we put on our skin is absorbed into our bodies, giving us all of this, I called it poison in here, but it's just not good for your body. Full access to your entire internal operating system. So think about putting a virus on your computer, and hopefully it just doesn't touch a couple of your files or your programs, right? Sometimes they're sleepers and they hang out like a Trojan, and you've all heard about these different viruses on your computers over the years. So what we don't want to do is just bring those things in, because if you look up those chemicals, a lot of them are considered carcinogenic. So poison is actually the right word. And in volume, they can be poisonous to you. So let's just say those 515 is probably more like when I wrote this, probably 2 years ago. So probably more, unfortunately. And that gets into your system in bulk, or it starts storing in places in the body of weakness. That's what we look for from a functional practitioner perspective. It's how we go in and try to unwind what's going on from a chemical perspective. The easiest thing is to start changing your holistic hygiene, your hygienic products into more holistic or more natural. That's why it matters. That's why titanium dioxide matters. That's why the chemicals in your coffee matter. That's why Roundup in your yard matters. Those are 3 simple examples. There are many of them. There's a site, I think they had to change the name because it started getting crossed over with something that was a little less savory. I will look for it. I can't remember off the top of my head. You can go in and look your products up and find their rating. It's that easy. Certain companies are more adept at creating holistic or more natural based. So I get this I did get it at my local health food store, which is now out of business. So keep looking, guys. There's a lot of people that make their own. Like, you could make your own. It's actually very easy with all your natural ingredients. Most people don't want to because it's time consuming and they don't get a pretty bottle. But this happens to be a lavender botanical body lotion. Sometimes I just use coconut oil. It's kind of that simple. I use an organic version, and we get big tubs of it because we use it for so many things in our house. We use it for cooking, we use it for our hygiene, we use it for actually with our dog. So understanding that you can simplify those things and create a better environment for your body overall, or your kids. The natural products can be very expensive. That's not the point. Additionally, now you can go in and look at what used to be natural products have been bought out, by companies like Johnson & Johnson, as an example. And this is why we read labels. So I try to stick with the easiest, most simple thing, the most holistic, the most divinely created, because it can get confusing out there. And then you're just spending a lot of money on things that your body isn't loving you, and isn't supporting people in your community. So if you guys know anyone who does natural products, let me know. I will be happy to host them. I'd be happy to do a podcast interview with them, because I want to support those people. It's a great way to make a living, and it's such a pure intention. So one of the things that I'm exploring right now is what I'm calling intentional communities, intentional networking. So keep that in the back of your head. These are the people that are going to be around you all the time as we move forward in our society. So on that note, I wonder if I have anything. Oh yeah, banned substances from beauty products. Like, they're still in there, people. There's still folks. We still have products that have actual banned substances in them because they're so toxic, but they stay on the shelf forever, or they get mixed into something. And while we all love TJ Maxx and Ross, sometimes they are just, overstock, and sometimes they've been around a lot. So if you do buy a product, make sure you look at the expiration date. Here's the easy thing. If the expiration date is 25 years out there, you're going to need to look at how they made it, because nothing should be around that long. And if it smells or just doesn't seem right and it's not expired, it probably isn't. Use your instinct, use your intuition, and make decisions for yourself. It's a whole industry. It's a whole program in itself. So it's one that I've been meaning to do for a decade and put down on paper. But now that we have all these awesome videos, maybe I will run another one. If you're interested, post up, let me know, respond to the email, answer it in your questions, or like I said, post it up in the Facebook group, because this is huge. It's actually huge. It's the biggest organ of your body. You know that now. Natural hygiene, what does it mean? In scientific terms, natural hygiene is the biological preservation and restoration of our state of health. Right now, more than ever, super important. All of this is super important. It's super important to me. I hope you'll find where in your life it is important. And little by little, I was having this conversation earlier, and I'll do a live this week on it. But, each one of these days can drill down into at least a month worth of exploration for you. Some of it more attention than others. But if every day for a month, and it's 12 days, it's 12 topics, you spend a month researching and trying new things out on each of these topics, your life will exponentially be better. And that springboard into whatever the next thing is. Again, maybe it's 12 weeks or 12 days, But that's kind of how, when we look at it, that's how we make change in those small steps. You can try to do it all at once. It's super overwhelming if you're not there. But if you have little bits and chunks already, then just pick those things, embrace them into your lifestyle, and don't compromise anymore. It's not worth it. One of the things I noticed in the last decade is little by little, I've made some concessions, and I'm like, why is this in my house? I would never have had this in my house 20 years ago. Why? And sometimes they're gifts. Like, people mean well to give you gifts for things you may not use. So a couple things, a gift is a gift. It doesn't come with attachments. So you can either, I'm not a re-gifter of things that I don't think are valuable, or share them with, someone who actually would like that. Especially when it comes down to lotions and potions, and, they're very expensive, but that doesn't mean that they're very good for you. Some people would love to have that in their life. And in that case, when you think about what the intention is, then you can, with a clear conscience, share that with somebody else. Otherwise, it goes in the trash, for me, in my opinion. So here we are. When it comes to my own personal self-care and hygiene, I like to take the completely holistic approach. Limiting the amount of chemicals, in my opinion, is critical in today's world. One of the things I've seen year after year after year is an ongoing increase in chemicals. And it's very concerning for me, because we have to do something with those chemicals, and that's not good for the earth. So synthetic is created, it's created in a lab, and then they put it out on the market. I remember when I was 16, I took a trip to Europe, and I was in France at a fragrance factory, and it was amazing and it's come so far since then. It's amazing what they can do, what they can make you believe you're eating, just based on a smell. So fragrances, or chemical smells, I forgot what they're called officially, are probably one of the top of the market things that they put in your food, so that it seems like you're eating something that you aren't. And I didn't even realize what a massive industry that is. But, just look at some of the big box things for the chemicals they put into foods that you would think shouldn't taste good. There's a reason why. All right. And you don't have to like everything. Like, that's the cool part for me. I realized I don't like everything. It's, we're talking about skin. Okay. Yeah. On the second page of our program here, it tells you how to use the skin brush. You can get it anywhere. Like I said, you can, in the Korean bath mitts. You scrub them. You start at the outer edges of your body, your hands and feet, and bring everything in towards the heart. And then you release it out. So it comes up, it comes down, and then there's certain areas that you're really gentle with. On the gua sha, and I think I'm saying that right because I try to say it the best I can. But what is it? So this means, gua means to scrape. And sha is the stagnation. So you're scraping away stagnation. This is how we bring blood back into certain areas. A lot of times we use foam rollers in fitness or other tools that are out there. This is actually jade, okay? Hopefully it's not glass. Depends on where you get it. If you get on Amazon, chances are it's not jade. But you don't have to spend a fortune on these. And you have tools that you can use in different areas of your body. If this is something you're interested in, I highly encourage you to get with somebody who's used it before. There's lots of instructions on the YouTube videos. Now YouTube is amazing at teaching, but particularly things like when you're congested, how you use them, how you taut the skin and bring it forth. So a lot of times people that get those bags under their eyes, how are you pulling? This is hard. It's a hard surface, and you're moving that fluid underneath, that stagnation that is in the skin. And some of them even have these super cool little knobby, right? Okay. Anyway, I'm playing here. I'm playing because when I discovered these, I was so excited. Like, I'd never really thought about using this kind of a tool. I've definitely used the skin brushes and loofahs and the mitts for a long time, but those are nice, and you can use them every day, or you don't have to. But it's nice to have them in your arsenal of things. And then when something doesn't feel quite right, you can get that little tiny tool, right, in the areas that maybe you need to move some fluids. Anybody ever wake up with those those swollen wrists and ankles and toes and whatnot? So I love Mind Body Green. They've done a really good job of keeping a very objective and nice holistic perspective on all things natural. We'll say all things natural. I know there's some things that aren't, but we use cupping. We use a lot of different things now in our therapies, and we want to move stuff around. Okay, so 21 minutes, sorry guys. Your skin in detox. The skin is the largest organ. If you're going to start removing stuff, it's going to come out of your skin. Also in your breath. If you have stinky breath, tongue scrape, you guys, brush your teeth. Make sure you take care of that. Get it out of your body. If you're feeling stinky under your arms, make sure that you're using a more natural, and this could be a process, deodorant or antiperspirant. You want to just get rid of the titanium dioxide is the biggest one. And, it can be a process looking for a new deodorant if you tend to sweat and smell a lot. The reason you sweat and smell is you're releasing chemicals out of your body, so maybe take a few days and stink, shower, but let it out before you start putting stuff back in. And then flow with that movement. All right, have an amazing Wednesday. What day is it? We are going to be wrapping up by the end of this weekend. So if you have questions, you guys, this group right now has my full attention. I will answer as many questions as we possibly can. As a matter of fact, on Friday at 10 a.m. I'm going to go and do a live Q&A in the Facebook group. So if you're not on Facebook and you have questions, send them to me. I will then acknowledge them and answer them in the Q&A, and then I will upload it to YouTube so that you can get the link. All right. So I love you guys. Have a fantastic day. Take that breath in, eat really good foods, hydrate, move, and take good care of your skin.